It's time to play buy, sell, or hold.
Time to buy, sell, or hold.
I'd buy that for $1.
Colin will decide if he'll buy it, sell,
I want you to sell.
or hold.
Please hold.
All right, I'm your stockbroker. Joey, go ahead.
All right, this is our NFL Draft Edition. Buy, sell, or hold. 3 quarterbacks get drafted in the top 5 picks.
Buy.
Buy.
Yeah, okay, listen, we know Burrow's going to Cincinnati at 1. Miami and the Chargers both need quarterbacks. I think the Chargers move up to get Herbert. Miami stays at 5 and gets Tua. He's too talented to pass on. They passed on Drew Brees once. Didn't work out so well. That's a buy.
All right, buy, sell, or hold. The Patriots draft a quarterback in the first round.
That is a sell.
Sell.
Yeah. Why? They've never drafted a quarterback. Belichick's never drafted a quarterback in a top 60 pick. They also have the 23rd pick in the draft. Belichick loves defense. Jamie Collins gone. Van Noy gone. They got to resurrect that defense a little bit. And I believe next year, well, let's just stay to this year. It would be Jordan Love, if anybody. My guess is Jordan Love, and he feels too much like a prospect.
All right, buy, sell, or hold. JEUDY gets drafted before CeeDee Lamb.
Easy buy.
Buy.
First of all, I think he's by far and away the best corner. Against much better defensive backs and corners, he dominated. CeeDee Lamb played in a much weaker Big 12. The best corner in the Big 12 is Jeff Gladney at TCU, and he held CeeDee Lamb to his lowest output. And it should be noted, of the top 25 corners in this draft, 3 are Big 12. A lot of SEC guys.
Buy, sell, or hold. Speaking of the SEC has 13 players drafted in the first round. Buy, sell, or hold.
Buy. Yeah, that I have him drafting 13 SEC players. I think half of the first round could be SEC players. I think you also have a strange situation where we've got a couple of positions which are hugely important, and one of them is wide receiver. And it just happens to be that was the best Alabama wide receiver class I've ever seen. And LSU is loaded at wide receiver. And so it's a great wide receiver draft. And the SEC has a ton of wide receivers. So I think they're going to set a record.
Buy, sell, or hold. A running back will be drafted in the first rounds.
Sell.
Sell.
I think Jonathan Taylor is my favorite running back. But here's the thing. None of them are top half of the draft talented, although I do think Jonathan Taylor's undervalued. But the teams at the end of the draft, San Francisco, Green Bay, Tennessee, and Baltimore, I don't believe. Tennessee's got Derrick Henry. It's Mark Ingram in Baltimore. The teams at the end of the draft don't need a running back. Some say Kansas City, but I think they have a pass rusher need and a center need, and they'll take Cesar Ruiz from Michigan. That's who I think Kansas City takes, so I'd say sell on that.
Buy, sell, or hold that there will be 4 trades in the first round.
Buy.
Buy.
The last 10 drafts, you're averaging almost 6 trades. So let's reduce that by 1 because it's a virtual draft. But I think the virtual draft aspect is way overstated. The WNBA did a virtual draft. The XFL did a virtual draft. They were fine. Don't freak out. There's going to be trades.
Buy, sell, or hold. Jalen Hurts will be drafted in the second round.
Pretty easy sell for me.
Sell.
First of all, remember, you'll draft a quarterback in the first round if you think he's a franchise guy, and he'll mostly start early. By the second round, you like to get starters. Most teams do. And I don't think Jalen Hurts, I think he's a fascinating project. I don't see him as a starter in the NFL. I would love to see him on some teams. I think he could be a spot starter, but he's a project, and so I don't see him second round.
Buy, sell, or hold. The Dolphins keep all 3 of their first-round picks.
Buy.
Buy.
First of all, they have the 5th, the 18th, and the 26th. They have to rebuild their offensive line. And I think they will address tackle Josh Jones is my guess with their 18th pick. They could get Austin Jackson for USC with their 26th pick, although I don't have him going in the first round. I think they need to rebuild their offensive line. The only thing I really like about that team, outside of Brian Flores, I think their receiving core is pretty interesting. and I think their corners now, and the back end of their defense is pretty interesting because of free agent moves. But I think actually, Joey, I think Miami's going to win the draft because they have so many picks. So I think, the Monday after the draft, everybody, who wins, who loses, and nobody has an answer. You have 13 picks in the draft. You're going to pick a lot of people that you and I have seen play college football, and we're going to go, oh, guys, unbelievable draft. And let's be honest about it, Joy. Miami's draft picks are going to play.
Right.
Like all of them. So I think Miami's going to win the draft. I thought they did a really good job in free agency.
Yes.
I think the future of the Dolphins is really good. They won 5 of 9 games down the stretch. New England won 4 of 9 games down the stretch. I think Miami is the easiest teams in the league. I mean, the easiest team in the league to say they'll double their win total. It feels like of all those teams, Miami's a really easy 9-10 win team. I really believe that. Brady's gone, the only thing I'll worry about Miami, no OTAs, limited camp, and they're going to be really young. So that September could be choppy as hell for them. Now, the good news is Ryan Fitzpatrick is there, but when you have a roster as young as Miami's going to have the youngest roster after this draft because all their picks will play. So, I mean, they're going to give everybody at least a year chance. They'll be the youngest team in the league.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.